Have they opened up now? I mean, can you go to nightclubs, for example, in the UK?
Yeah, all that stuff's open now. They lifted all the restrictions a month or so back.
Okay,
Perhaps questionably, but
yeah, I know. It feels. I mean, it's to think. When we were wearing face masks, and then suddenly from one day to the next, you took your face mask off. Because you're allowed to. I suddenly thought I felt like I was naked in the street. I felt like going into the supermarket with my cock out. Terribly sorry. Put it away again.
Right. For complete clarity, I always pull something out. I always pull something out of the conversation as an intro gag. That is definitely going to be the intro gag. That is it now. That is it. You're not going to say anything better than that, I doubt.
Otherwise, you're welcome to use it. That's how it felt.
Hey everyone, what is going on? My name's MrWombat and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got a special one for you because I sat down and interviewed the voice behind Agent 47, David Bateson. We talked all about him getting into the world of acting, landing the role of Agent 47, how that role has evolved over the years, and also we had to talk a little bit about the Lego City memes that went viral last year, since you might not know that he was the narration behind those infamous clips. It is easily one of my favourite interviews I've ever conducted. David is an absolute delight to chat to. We had such a laugh, and there are actually roughly 20 minutes of unseen footage you won't see in this video that I'm planning to compile into an unseen bits video that will be uploaded in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure quite when it will go up, but look forward to that because there is some really good stuff in there that I know you all will enjoy. Either way, enough talking from me. Let's get right to the interview. I hope you enjoy it. We will basically just kick off with me asking how you doing. So how you doing today, David?
I'm doing fine.
Just pretend as though we've just come on a call. We've not had 40 minutes of mic issues and all that. No, we just seen you.
I've known you half my life. Discord. But yeah, we're here. It works, and I'll come to your graduation.
I can't afford a plane ticket, so if you're coming over, you're gonna have to fork that up yourself. I'm sorry.
You never know with my business. Literally, like next week I'm in Stockholm, and that wasn't around last week. So it was, hey, what are you doing? Who knows? I'll go anywhere for money.
It's a good answer.
Not for money, but yeah. But if I'm in town at something, I don't mind looking up and saying, okay, who's in town that I could surprise? So.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a lovely thing.
It's fun to do.
Yeah.
Freak people out.
It would. Yeah, it would freak me out. It would freak me out just walking down the street and I go. So you ever seen that clip of Ewan McGregor on Graham Norton where he was talking about that and he was shouting to someone who someone's road raging and he literally just goes, "That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi."
And these kids are going, Dad, don't go, no. And they're going, oh shit, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
He is a joy, by the way. I love him.
Have you met him?
No, I haven't. But there is one story with him. But his first film in America, which was called A Life Less Ordinary. Life Less Ordinary. That is a film script which my then girlfriend wrote.
Oh, wow.
No shit. And they stole it from us. Long story.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, that's Welcome to Hollywood. No, we were touting her script in summer of '94.
Yeah.
And I used to get the British cinema magazine, what it's called, Empire or something like that.
Yeah.
And later that year, in September, they said, these are our prediction for the top 100 films coming next year. And one of them, Life Less Ordinary, and they wrote, then the storyline was, thinking, wait a minute, that's exactly our storyline. That is too spooky. Ours was two fairies that could graduate from fairy school. I mean, don't go there. Could come down to Earth and create a miracle. And that was to create an American Indian musician should fall in love with a wasp princess. A white, what do you call it? Some kind of, I don't know what the expression is, but just a kind of a white girl, well-to-do. Because that would be a real miracle. And we even suggested the cast was to be Cher and Holly Hunter. Anyway, their movie was two angels come down to Earth to graduate from angel school, and they get a Scottish out-of-work musician who falls in love with a wasp, Cameron Diaz. And I thought, Okay, that's spooky. How? And the short story is I phoned up Empire magazine in London and said, I'm a journalist, and hey, I see, where did you get this article from? I mean, that's amazing. And then the person opened up on the phone to me totally innocently. And I found out that, looking back on it, the one of the people we touted at a studio, I can't remember who it was. It was, Columbia or 20th Century. That person obviously got fired or left and moved over to Warner Brothers or one of the studio that made it. And obviously what they do, they take a bunch of their scripts that they have in their drawer. And that script was Ewan Bremner's first studio picture in the States. So he owes me. No,
Yikes.
Oh, he's a class guy. But yeah, that was just, and the short story of the legal thing was that their lawyers contacted our actors union and said, listen, we're going to tell you what's going to happen. If this gets to court, you'll be your one lawyer and we will be maybe 7 lawyers. And the first thing we're going to do is delay the case 3 months. And we can do that up to 3 times. So, but it all costs money. And the movie by then, if you win this case, we'll have to maybe redo the VHS copies of the VHS.
VHS, good grief.
Based on an idea by Vivian Nielsen, my then girlfriend. And, what's it going to, do you really want to go there? And, our union said, no, we don't want to do it, because, so they just, because the idea being you had to prove, not that they'd stolen their idea, you had to prove that 2 people on the planet can't have the same idea at the same time.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to prove, is it?
How do you do that? You're screwed. So yeah, the only way you can do it is if they use exact same lines in this. If you can go through the whole transcript and say, that's a line from yes, but they know all that, so they change it, but they take the idea.
Well then, blimey. That's a very long, involved answer to how you're doing. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
no.
Sorry, mate. You just go like that.
Oh no, that was interesting. Blimey, I am. Yeah. That's mad. That's mad. Although it did sound as though there were definitely some recreational activities involved in writing that script. I don't know where the human and the wasp came in. Like I don't know if you just watched The Fly and went, actually, I like this idea, or like.
I mean, it was a fantasy road movie. I'm going, what? Fantasy road movie? Okay, 2 angels.
Yeah, is that even a thing?
What are you smoking?
Yeah. Honestly, like, blimey. So, the first things that I wanted to talk about you with, so get to know you a bit better, is what got you into the acting industry to begin with. So, like, some of your early roles, what just basically got you interested in acting to begin with?
Well, okay, that's a good question, actually, because I got into it by accident.
Okay.
I'm a little envious, secretly envious. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't worry. This is just between us. It's not going anywhere. I promise you.
No, that's cool. Of those people who kind of who wake up one day when they're 4 and go, I want to be an actor, and you're going, oh God, I hate you. Now you know what you're going to do, you bastard. Or I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be an astronaut or something. You're going, I didn't know. I hadn't got a bloody clue. But I had. This is my childhood in South Africa. I got a chance to go to university for free.
Wow.
Yeah, through a bursary through my father's company. No strings attached. Just if you fail, you pay it all back.
Oh, right. So there's your pressure to study.
Yeah, that'll keep you kind of awake.
Yeah.
The point being is, so I went. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to leave South Africa after I graduated from high school, because I just didn't want to grow old under apartheid. I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't politically active. It just felt sick.
No, I get you.
Because I had 7 years childhood in London, and I didn't even know my best friend in Britain, Surendra Singh, was Indian. I didn't even know that, But moving back to South Africa, I suddenly found out, you can't come and live in my house. Shit, why not? Anyway, point being, I said yes to the bursary because it was a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
Did a, what do you call it, aptitude tests and all that stuff with a counsellor. And I said, I want to be an architect or a journalist. Oh, make it so, you know. He do all these stupid little exercises, and I came back a week later, and he goes, ever thought about, and I could see he was being kind of discreet because didn't want to scare me off because acting was the last thing, you know, I had considered. And he said, I think just to say that your creative quotient on these marks actually are off the scale. And he showed me this graph, and these went, and so he subtly suggested that maybe I should start with kind of a journalism subjects, and but take 1 year speech and drama. I went, what? Get out of town. He said, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It'll be good for you in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, and I went, okay, I don't like it, and the rest is history because I liked it a lot.
Yeah, blimey.
But if I had to audition to become an actor, I never would have turned up. You know, and so, you know, so I got into it by accident, and the next bit, getting into voice acting was, I don't know, how old are you?
22.
Okay. When I was 19, I was second year of uni, and it was my mum suggested, hey, go down to the local radio station, because they didn't have, they had TV in South Africa, but it only came in 1976, and it was very shit. And it was like 3 hours a day of absolute poo. Everyone listened to the radio, and radio drama was very big. She said, go down to the local radio station and see if they need any young Jew voices. And I thought, well, it beats working for a living. So I went down there and auditioned. They went, come on in. We need some Jews because we're all like old farts here trying to be 19-year-olds. So that's how I got into radio drama and standing in front of a microphone. So, yeah. So you want that expression of life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans?
Oh, the John Lennon quote. I love it.
Yeah, he was quoting Nietzsche, wasn't he? Or something like that. But,
I can't remember. I just heard it in a game I really like, and I was like, oh, I like that quote.
yeah. I mean, it's true, of course. But
yeah,
you know, it's you'll find out when you've got some years under your belt. You'll stop up and look back at how you got to where you are at that point, and it's very enlightening. I'll give you, sir, if I may, one little example. I was walking out of away from an audition for the National Theatre in South Africa.
Yeah.
I won't even go there why, but I was stopped by one of the university lecturers in the drama department. He said, where are you going? I said, well, I was supposed to do a log for this star girl in the department, and she didn't turn up because she's throwing up with nerves. And he goes, David, you don't know this now because you haven't got a brain. No, he didn't say that.
Oh, God.
You know, he was maybe doing to me, that it doesn't matter. But the point being, he said, this is a moment in your life, a very important moment. It lasts 15 minutes. Get in that room. Your name is, well, that time is booked in 2.5 hours' time. And he forced me to go up. He didn't force me, but he encouraged me very strongly to go and check, look through some audition pieces in a room with a mirror in the drama department, and kind of revitalize an audition so I could turn up and go, hello, I'm not the person you're supposed to see, I'm the one that's called partner, and I did. Before I had to be nervous, and that led to me getting an offer to join the State Theatre and become an actor. And that moment, I've always thought, the day I got the telegram, it shows you how long ago it was, saying, you're being offered this contract, that's when I decided to become an actor. No, it's the man who stopped me walking away. And I only had that kind of epiphany a few years ago, and I wrote to him, and he's a retired senior lecturer at San Diego University now. And I said, hey, Pete, I can't believe this. You changed my life. You stopped me when I was young, dumb, and 20 and 19, I was 20, walking away from this interview, this audition, which led to me turning down the State Theatre, doing an extra year, and realizing I could do this shit. I was just having fun basically up until that point. So you never know. So in years to come, you'll be going, oh, I remember. Oh, David said to me.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do. I've said to you I was doing some teaching stuff, but I'm not sure whether that's where I'll go in the long run. I really feel like something in the creative stuff. Like, I mean, I've done so many of these podcast episodes and things now that I feel like that's probably where I'm lying somewhere in, like, TV or radio myself. I'd be quite into.
Yeah.
But
well, listen, I mean, Troy, I looked at your stuff. You're extremely professional, and people get a lot for their money, if you know what I mean. When I look at your interviews, the editing work you're doing is pretty bloody hardcore.
Oh, thank you.
Give yourself a lot of work, trust me, compared to a lot of others out there. And that's not criticism of them, it's just your style. And that's
can I get that on paper so can I show that to people?
Yeah. But no, man, I mean, who knows? Let's put it this way. Wind back 10 years, and this scenario didn't exist.
No.
It's hard for you to imagine, but you've never been around in a world before in mobile telephones and the internet. But a lot of the people on the planet have been there. And so yeah, who knows, man? You could be a rock star. You'll be like in a big mansion on Saint-Tropez, sitting by your pool, going, David who?
Oh, I mean, I like the sound of the mansion, but let's get out of my bedroom first, and then we'll go from there. That's the funniest thing. I get people saying to me, "How do you sleep in here with all these posts and stuff?" I go, "Well, I turn the lights off. I don't." That seems to surprise people. It's like I don't sleep with all the lights on, but like, I love it. I'm constantly I literally last night I was putting like stuff on the inside of the doors. I just keep decorating stuff constantly. I love it. It's great for me.
I mean, that Captain America shield is a real keeper.
Oh yeah, I've got to give my mum the thanks for that, because I kind of said to her, I was like, how am I going to get that on the wall? And she just went, right, hang on. She went and got a piece of string, lapped it round, and then there was like hand straps in there, arm straps, so she just shoved it round there, and then went bam on a nail. I was like, how did I not think of that? That's brilliant. Yeah. Like,
no, you've got a real man cave there.
No, it literally is. It's basically like 20 years of not having like a decorated bedroom, all just coming out at once. Because I wanted to remake this for ages, and it was only in about March this year. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to get this setup done. I'm going to have something, because I've been doing a lot more streaming as well. And I was like, it'd be nice to have a setup for while I'm doing the live streams. So I was like, right, let's get this done. And I'm chuffed with it. I love it. If you're going to do a job, you do it well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's very classy. Keep it up. And,
I really appreciate it.
I would sleep in a room like that. But you're right. You turn the lights off. Duh.
Exactly. Yeah, honestly. Right. Anyway. So, obviously, you can expect that I'm going to ask a little bit about Hitman, because that is, that is a career-defining role. That is, like, fantastic, And it was weird to me, because I jumped on with the Hitman games with Absolution, because Hitman was the game when I was younger. I saw it. My granddad used to have like a copy of it on his like PlayStation, and he was like, "No, you can't play that. It's too old for you. You can't touch that." But I jumped on with Absolution. It was made free on Xbox at one point for a month, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I get to try Hitman game," and I've absolutely loved them. And it was only 2 days ago I went back and tried Blood Money for the first time, because I never played it, and that's like one of the ones that everyone is like, that's highly regarded. And the one thing I noticed was like, your voice hasn't aged at all. Like, I was listening to it in that game, and I was like, he sounds the exact same as he does now in Hitman 3. It's like, that was wild to me. That was very strange.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I don't know, I woke up, as I say, in the middle of the night, and then I went and grabbed my phone, and I stayed awake for about an hour and a half, and I found some fan mail. Sent me a walkthrough of a bunch of kills he'd done. And some were on Blood Money and some were on Absolution. I went, I really got into them. But that struck me. I went, shit, my voice sounds just like it. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I mean, that's 10 years ago, or, Blood Money's even older. But yeah, I mean, now I sound bizarre because I've got a cold. But no, it's hanging in there. But, who knows what the future holds.
Who knows?
I love Hitman. I adore Hitman.
Yeah, so that was where I was going to ask first, was that how did that come about? So how did you get the role of Agent 47 to begin with? Was it another happy accident?
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I have answered this question before, and I only wish I could say, well, I was in the gladiator ring.
Oh, yes.
Fought to the death, and I got the role. There were 3,000 people who auditioned, and I was the best. All that shit. But no, I was getting back to that serendipity moment of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I never would have. I didn't even know where Scandinavia or Denmark was. Of course, I knew where it was, but it wasn't on my bucket list to ever come to this part of the world. And I got a call. I got an audition for the English speaking, and I actually said to my agent, "Are you trying to get rid of me or what? What, Copenhagen? I live in Clapham, I got the job, and the one thing led to another in terms of the job circumstances, which is a whole long story. But I ended up in Denmark, and I chose to be here, and it wasn't even because of a girlfriend. I just thought, shit, this is a well-kept secret. I'm staying. And,
oh, wow.
And back then, you couldn't even do that. It took me a year. Because they were, oh, great, English-speaking actor. You won't be on the dole, will you? So, house, get out of the country. You have to have a permanent job, a real job. And I got mine as a kind of bottle washer in a restaurant, just a slave backstage, in the kitchens.
Yeah.
But the point being, so I ended up in this country through bizarre circumstances, and the word was getting out, hey, we need English male, voiceover artists. And so I started to get a bit of work, and I was in a studio doing a boring sort of corporate voiceover thing, and in that same business, they were doing the computer graphics for the brand new game, which had not been released yet. Hitman, or was it Codename 47?
Codename 47, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And so they popped in and said, hey, Dave, could you come and have a look at the graphics afterwards and give it a go? We need a voice. And apart from the fact that I thought, well, he looks a bit like me, he became to look a lot more like me later when they performance captured my face into the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just gave it a go as a kind of a Philip Marlowe voice, and they kind of went for that, and it matured and changed along the way. But yeah, in the right place at the right time. So
it is a great voice. It is like a very iconic kind of like, very special to that character. You don't hear many kind of voices like that in video game characters, I don't think.
They also didn't want, and I thought that was a good move, they didn't want a specific American accent as such. They didn't want to say, oh, he comes from New Jersey, or, he comes from California, or
I don't think that would have worked on him, He doesn't sound as cold if he's got that kind of accent, does he?
No, they just wanted some kind of transatlantic thing because he's created in a test tube. Where do you come from? I don't know, and that's his whole mystique. That he doesn't know his background and who he is and why he's so good at his job.
Yeah,
and that has obviously been resolved now. But so a bunch of circumstances that led to me being in the right place.
It's a good answer, really. I mean, it's nice that it was all kind of almost by chance, because it's a nice story you can tell then,
Yeah, well, but as I say, over the years, I felt a bit embarrassed about saying that. And now I just admit to it and going, well, I was in the room. What can I say?
Have you actually played any of the games yourself then? You said you were looking at the graphics.
Yeah, I have, yeah. I'm really, crap doesn't even come close. I'm really not good. But I watch in awe as I watch my daughters playing it and going, God, how'd you do that? Oh, that was quick. Oh,
yeah.
And that's something slightly sick when your daughter's saying, Dad, it's so cool having you in my headphones as I'm strangling and
as I'm murdering people. Yeah. So you going, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well.
I think what's wrong with this picture? We need to talk. But yes, I think it's wonderful.
It is. It's great.
Many years ago, in Britain, I saw an interview with some Coronation Street actors.
Oh yeah.
And I we've all grown up with Coronation Street, but there was a part of me that going, oh come on, do something else, But, but I understand that now. I understand the wonderful joy of being close to one character for such a long time. I mean, I do loads of other stuff all the time. But I love coming back to Agent 47. He's a real, genuine mate.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, can't wait. I'm going to hang out with him for the next 4, 5, 6 months when we record.
Oh, so, wow. Is that how long you can spend on some of the games then, doing voice sessions?
Yeah. I mean, the first recording was like 3 hours. We're done,
Yeah, because he certainly talks a lot more now, I think, in the later games, doesn't he? There's more input there.
Big time. But also the whole nature of the game is so much more sophisticated. And all the characters that he bumps into now, they've all got much more dialogue and information. And the whole idea of him getting into disguise. And I have to say, it was between Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 of the trilogy, towards the end of the trilogy, where I said, oh, what's going on? What's with all this? More ice in your gin and tonic, sir. What? What happened to the silent assassin? And, I said, David, go with us. The game's now so complex and sophisticated that there are long periods of time when the player is not hearing anything. And in order to give him a bit more integration in being you, we've given him a lot of more, sort of normal dialogue when he's in disguise as a waiter or whatever. So there's a lot of dumbass things that I have to record. But,
there's a lot of almost like wisecracks at this point. It's not quite like Deadpool level of like meta, but you get those lines where it's like kind of like a wink to the screen of like, oh, I specialize in, what was the one? It was something. It was in the bank one. It was something about retirement. I think was the one. What profession are you in? The retirement industry, and it's like, right, okay, I like that. There's a lot of those little like eye winky camera moments that I just really like.
Those kind of comments definitely have evolved, and I have to say it's a chicken and egg thing here. Because the writers and myself have all grown up together. Yeah. So we've all kind of like literally done all those kind of grown up things you do. But part of that is that we know each other so well. I can't say that they sit in a room completely by themselves and have no influence over my personality. They're not influenced by my personality when they're writing. But they are also hearing my voice. They kind of know, oh, David could say this in a totally dry way and have two meanings to it, like I'm in the retirement industry or whatever, So there has been some kind of a synergy between us that they're writing stuff that they could, those kind of dry throwaways have become iconic, but they don't want to do a Deadpool, full-blown Deadpool.
Oh yeah, no.
Is a pity, but I understand it. It would have been made the character much more fun. And
it would make it more fun, but I feel like he'd probably lose a bit of the kind of the sinister edge then, I would say.
They wanted to keep the danger. He kills people, everyone. This is,
Yeah.
But there is that we're both have been involved in the what do you call it, the maturity of the dialogue.
Yeah, that was another thing I was going to ask about how much involvement you had. I was wondering like how much.
I get a few moments of improvisation, but we're pretty routine now. Occasionally, very occasionally, I've said, Agent 47 would not say this. Or the writer himself, because there's a group of writers, and sometimes another writer's written this dialogue for another level. But the writer who's in the studio with me, directing me, is not that same writer, and that writer will sometimes, very occasionally, say, "You know what? That's something wrong with that line. Agent 47 wouldn't say it like that." So it's so funny because without any of us consciously knowing it, we've all kind of become entwined in the reality of this personality called Tobias Reaper, Agent 47. So he has actually, in a bizarre way, become more real over the years. And that is too weird to explain. I know he's just a set of algorithms, but he's real to me.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I mean, they look realistic enough at this point.
Yeah.
They're fantastic games, yeah.
It's a fun process, but getting back to the Coronation Street allergy. It is actually pretty exciting to be involved with one character for such a long time.
Yeah, it is really good. I think it's, and like I say, it's just such an iconic thing because there aren't many, actors who get to have those characters that they stay with for so long.
No, I think someone said to me, there's the Mario Brothers actor who's been doing it longer. I think he's got 25 or 26 years, and I'm 21.
Yeah.
So I can never...
Only 21? That's not enough, come on.
Yeah, I know. I can't overtake him unless he dies, and maybe he will.
Moving on.
I'll have a word with Agent 47 to see what he can do.
God, David. Oh, making friends in the industry, aren't you? Blimey.
Yes. I know. Oh, well, I know I won't be voicing Mario Brothers, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, blimey. Think you burn that bridge.
Oh. About 5 years ago, I was at the BAFTA Games Awards presenting, and afterwards we had this big posh sit-down dinner with the BAFTA executives.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I was at the top table. And sitting next to me is Victoria Atkins, who was the female Assassin's Creed. And at one point, she says to me, leans over, and she was also presenting. She leans over and said, David, I bet you I can make your phone melt. And I went, what? What are you talking about? So she just took our 2 name tags.
Yeah.
And put them next to each other, took a photograph, whacked it up on Twitter. And my phone went, about 5 days later, it stopped vibrating every second. And that's when that was my first wake-up call to the power of social media, because she had a really big profile out there, and she just wrote dinner with assassins, and all she wrote, no explanation, just her name tag and my name tag, and people put the two and two together. But and that was a kind of a wake-up call. Whoa, this is big. You mean it's not just me in a recording booth? Because when there are 200 people at least working in a building, making a Hitman, but they have a sense of we're all in this together. Oh, we worked for years and years, and we suddenly release a game. And I come in right at the end, and alone in a sound booth, because all the other recordings been done in London or LA or Vancouver or somewhere else. So I have no connection with the outside world. And then the next thing, it's out there, and there's 300 million people playing the games, and so sometimes I can't forget that. How crazy big this whole industry has become. Not just
it is brilliant. It is brilliant. I always find it interesting when you get actors who kind of suddenly come across like the social media influence and go, oh wow, there's a lot here. Because there's someone I know, Ian Russell, who was in Payday. He's one of the characters in Payday 2, and he's actually made a Twitter account for his character in Payday Lock, and he's got like about 10,000, 11,000 followers now. There are loads of people interact with him, and he's like, it's never something I expected with a character, but now I log onto that account every day and I'm interacting with people, and it's such a lovely thing. I think it's such a cool way of fans interacting and stuff. Yeah, it's really lovely.
I do as much as I can, but I have if I admit this, it's terrible. I have an inbox with about this much. Can you see it? That?
Yeah, blimey.
Fan mail of stuff that snail mail stuff that I haven't addressed. I had an assistant for about 3 years, and she helped me deal with that. But I'd love to be much more involved, but I'm just so busy.
Yeah, no, that's what happens, isn't it?
Really I'm real busy.
Whenever that phone rings, you're there.
Yeah, and it rings at weird times. And this morning at dawn, I thought, I've got no voice. I've got 2 voiceovers to do. Shit. And then another mate of mine said, Dave, can you some dog insurance, animal insurance in Australia? I mean, could you what? Yeah, could you do that? You do this dog accent. I went, what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
A dog accent?
I forgot it, completely forgot. And I'd done this little voiceover of a dog, growling at people as they go past the house, and then obviously I'm doing the voice going, "Oh, I love you." Oh.
Just do one as Agent 47 and see how it sounds.
No, I mean, I don't know, because everything Agent 47 says is like very final.
Yeah.
You just wait. I'll bite your ass. It sounds weird. That's it. I'll just put my silencer on and it's all over. But yeah, so I had to do that at dawn this morning.
Blimey.
Because they have a deadline in Australia. So I mean, there one under COVID, as the whole planet has realized. We've stopped. We kind of put the handbrake on. And it had a certain charm about it initially. Oh, my children, and your names are again?
Oh my God.
I mean, but it was lovely. But then you're going, okay, everyone, could you all go back to school now, because this is really getting heavy.
I'm trying to work now. Can you leave me alone, please?
Yeah, I usually I'm alone. I know my sound booth is soundproof, but I only just recently moved my sound booth home.
Yeah.
I used to have an office around the corner. So, but the point is, I'm fine when I close the door. I'm in my own little world, and I go to work. But it's what I'm saying is the whole planet slowed down.
Yeah.
And being available 24 hours to do voiceovers is fine, as long as the phone rings, even occasionally. But the whole world, in many ways, just stopped, and along with it, corporate films, e-learning and commercials and computer games, the whole industry kind of just, someone took the air out. And so there was a lot of times that I was sitting there going, well, this is not really a job anymore. My phone hasn't rung for 2 days. I felt like taking it down to the telephone shop and saying, "Oi, my phone's broken."
Yeah.
It used to ring all the time.
Yeah, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, anyway, it's ringing all the time now. So
that's good. I'm glad to hear it. No, things did stall for a while. It's with films, the thing we expected, but with games, like, I think about it now, and like this year, there's only really like 2-ish games I think that released, one being Hitman 3 that came out that was like a big release this year. Everything seems to be coming out towards the end of the year now.
Yeah, well, I'm a little concerned about that. Because I want IO Interactive to get the recognition they deserve. And if you release right at the beginning of the year, when it comes around to sort of awards season, not that they go up, they're not that they're really interested in that kind of stuff, but I am. But I want them. And there's a lot of. I only read at the start of this week. I can't remember what it was now. They're saying it's still officially being considered one of the best games of the year. Hitman 3.
Yeah.
But it came out in January. So, as you say, when all the games come out in December, they're going to go, Hitman who?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that,
Because I want IO Interactive to get all the credit that should come their way. I know they're into James Bond mode now, but I just want that is a massive order for them to get that franchise.
That is huge. I'm really interested to see what they do with that. That's going to be really, really cool.
So they won't let me into the building. I'm telling them. We know it's you, David. Go away.
I should get you to play a Bond villain or something. Come on, you're calling. Go for it.
That's the one movement which is gathering a pace. Who knows? But I should be doing a villain.
Do little evil laughs. It Dr. No, it's like the little, the like little evil faces, Pinky and that. You can do that. Go on. Yes, perfect.
No, I mean, who knows? And I totally understand that they feel, listen, Dave, we all know you can do James Bond standing on your head, but there's got to be another actor in the world. It would be just not really fair on the game if they just use the same actor, as James Bond.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
But I did send a really good message to them. When they announced it was in December or whatever it was. I sent a long message sent a message to the CEO and a few of the execs as Sean Connery.
Oh my God.
And the trouble is he just died then, so it was a bit, but just to say, well done, and wish them all the best. But they'll do what they need to do to give the game full credit, and may they have lots of good fortune.
Yes.
Yeah, they know my number.
They know your number. They know your number. So, one of the things I wanted to ask you with regards to Hitman was, obviously with the last trilogy, it was kind of almost unprecedented how well connected they were with like the story, etc. Because I mean, even after the first game, there wasn't really there was some of it, but it wasn't a massive thing. But once it really got into Hitman 2, and especially in the third one, like it was really like there was a proper narrative going from mission to mission, which is like, I know Absolution did that a little bit, but it wasn't nearly as much as I think these games have done. And I just wanted to know personally if recording the lines for 47 was any different because of that and how it changed it.
Yeah, it did feel. I mean, personally, to start off by saying, I'm glad you started with Absolution. Because Absolution did have the same feel as some of this trilogy.
Yeah.
Because it's very filmic.
I really enjoyed it, yeah. I thought it was a really good game.
Absolution as an acting exercise, because it was great to see Agent 47 kind of out of his depth. One, he was like depressed that, Diana had betrayed him and he had to go and kill her. Plot spoiler.
Spoilers, yeah.
But then, he was suddenly faced with looking after like a 15-year-old girl, Victoria, and he's going,
yeah,
I have no information in this area. And it was a total Leon moment. And I know the mission was, criticized in some ways because it was not as wide a sandbox as Blood Money.
Yeah.
The previous game, but it was more filmic and linear in its story. But I loved it. It was a bloody well written.
Yeah, it was really well written.
And moody and edgy and all that stuff. So that was, for me personally, I think you had a good introduction there. But
yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed it. I really, really did.
Getting back to the trilogy, I did talk to them about this, and I said, obviously, I just want to be in the room when they're discovering the plots and where we're going to go. And I did have some issues in Miami when I had to be dressed as a pink flamingo. Okay, what were you on? Going, yeah, pink flamingo.
Pink flamingo, best costume ever. Yeah. Oh my god.
And then what was it? The Florida Man, the guy running around in spandex and a fluffy hat. I went.
Oh, it was good. But, it was funny.
No, they did have more the luxury of, in a way, doing one game over three. Okay. In the sense they had written a whole story arc, so they knew it had legs to go back to his roots and see it to the end. So it felt much more kind of iconic and historic, and they really bust a few blood vessels on that script, to get it right.
Yeah.
Kind of round up the story. So yeah, in my opinion, the last three games are the shit.
I love them. Yeah, they're brilliant. And
yeah, in Hitman 3, you know what I loved about Hitman 3? One of the sequences I watched last night was in South America. At the wine place. When he's basically on a mission together with Diana Burnwood.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That really surprised me.
Yeah. And Mr. Gray, who was his kind of childhood friend, I suddenly thought, hey, this is so cool. I love being alone as Agent 47, But it was such a nice moment to suddenly feel that you wasn't alone on a mission. You had some buddies with him.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite cool.
It was a really cool mission. Yeah, I thought it was really it was strange, but in a good way that Diana was like, because you wouldn't expect her to be on the field with you. She's always the one in your ear and not the one on the dance floor. It was really bizarre, but I really liked it.
I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a lot. I'm good friends now with I don't know, good friends, but what do you call it? Digital friends with the lovely Jane Perry. And I promised her drinks at the BAFTA, place in London next time I'm in town, because she's really been very supportive and helped me a lot. So she's lovely.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh no, those games they were absolutely fantastic. I think what's great about it in the end now is that you can play all 3 games in the 3rd one. I thought that was a really good way of doing it, especially with now you saying about them having planned the story out the whole time. It makes more sense that they knew where they were going. And I think it's good to plan these things in advance. I think that makes a big difference in the quality of the story.
Yeah, they knew that there's going to be quite a break now. We're going to James Bond mode. And also there is no, and you won't hear that from anyone, I guarantee you, commenting on what the future will hold for Agent 47 when he comes back. How do we reboot it? Will we do, he's retired and comes out of retirement, or we do a reboot and he's 19 years old, So that they're being tight-lipped about it. So they really wanted to kind of do him justice.
Yeah.
They weren't rushing it. A bit like, I haven't seen a single frame of Game of Thrones, but
considering how people received the ending, it might be for the best. That, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, there was a case of the writers going, "Shit, we've been offered a better job. Let's just crap out a quick series." Whatever,
seal it up,
only a few episodes, and just wrap it all up. Bye, and you're going, oh, that sucks. And that could easily have been the case with IO Interactive. They could have said, listen, we got James Bond, we can't announce it until December, but with the futures made, we're opening new studios in Malmö, Sweden. It's all, we're hiring, we can't get enough people. And, we've got to do this Agent 47 thing. Right. He dies at the end or something, Yeah, they did it really, really, they were equally loyal to the franchise, but I really wanted to give them a worthy storyline all the way through.
Yeah, I think it was really good. And, especially, just the way the missions flowed, especially the last one. I know people might not have liked it as much because it wasn't, again, Absolution wasn't the sandbox stuff, but there's something so cool about that last mission just going along a moving train to get to, this big climax. That was fantastic. I adored that. I thought it was so cool.
I've never done that. Being creative in that sense, but... Oh, I did. No, the other day I woke up in the middle of the night and I had an idea because I have to do hold a what do you call it? Presentation of voice acting at a drama school.
Yeah.
In Copenhagen, and I also have to do it in Danish. But boom, in the middle of the night I woke up and go, shit, I got a good idea. Oh. And so I had a kind of creative surge which woke me up, and I got up and I wrote these things down. So I don't know how that works on your subconscious. But the point being is, I'm in awe of people who are creative, even when they don't feel like it. I'm saying, there's the writers king. We've got to write this episode. I don't feel it. I've got a headache today. I don't feel like it. I've got to. I don't know how you kind of get yourself into a zone where you're going, oh, now I can be creative. I have difficulty. I mean, I can do it when I'm on a film set or I'm doing a theatre play. Then I just know that in that period of time, I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
I'm just being creative. But when I go home, I'm not being creative. I just go home and make dinner or something.
Yeah.
I'm in total awe of people who write. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because there's a discipline to it, which is very lonely and requires discipline. It requires self-discipline. I'm going to be creative now. How do you do that?
I wonder as well. It's very impressive. It is really impressive.
Max, you don't know about creativity.
What do you mean? How dare you? Oh no!
Find out, you're going to end up being world famous podcaster and your own TV show and YouTube your ass off and whatever the things you do, and your parents are going to say, "Where did we go wrong? We thought he was going to be a maths genius, and look at him, he's such a letdown."
Oh yeah, no, yeah. And interviewing Agent 47, that's I've told a couple of my mates that, and they were like, "What, really?" Like I have a mate who's a huge fan of Hitman, and I texted him and just said, "I'm just on a call right now, waiting to chat to David Bateson." And he was like, "You what?"
Oh,
I'm like,
he landed
he was like, "Yeah, how'd you manage that?" I went, "Well, it happened, I just went for it." And I was,
The brown envelope's paid off. I mean, I honestly don't remember that Ashley thing.
Yeah, for context, like, because basically before we start recording, I made a bit of an error. So just for everyone listening, just know that you can make mistakes and it'll be okay. Because I was saying to you, there are a few people. I don't even know whether I mentioned this on the show before, but there are a few key people I really want to get on, and one of them is Ashley Birch. And I'd written an email to her / her agent because I wasn't sure who the best person to get in contact with was.
Yeah.
And what I tend to do is I copy like this specific template and, adapt bits to suit them because I like the way I pitch it. And I'm like, right, so I just change it to fit, the things I like about them, what I want to talk to them about. And I'd done it for you and just forgotten to do the top line. And I'm asking to see if I can get Ashley to be on my podcast. And then I sent it, looked at the sent email and went, oh no.
Ashley.
Yeah, like
it's a good name. I mean,
I was genuinely worried after that. I was like, he's not going to reply. If I can't even get his name right, he's not going to want to give you the time of day. Like,
no, but I mean, I know, I could imagine it would have been a what do you call it, a pre-written thing you could adapt. But it did come across my impression, and I don't know when I got that impression, but you were very professional, and I thought, yeah,
thank you kindly.
Yeah, no, but I thought, no, that's worth spending some time on,
Yeah, because I didn't want it to feel scripted, the pitch, because the only thing that's really, like, properly, like, the same across is, like, how the interview works and how much time and that. I'm like, I want to make sure, because I spend a lot of time properly thinking about, okay, what are the things I really want to talk to this person about? Because there's common themes in every interview, like, how people got into the industry, and the next thing for you will be, like, other roles and stuff. Like, there are key themes that I think of, like, the way I like to do things, but I always try and specialize it around, the things I'm interested in with the person, trying to get them to talk about loads of different stuff. And I always think it's quite fun jumping from person to person and seeing all the different things that come out of the conversations. I love it. So
yeah, well, you make it easy, so that's fun.
Oh, thank you.
To keep doing it.
I appreciate it. I really do. That's so nice of you.
That's all.
Get you to do some references for me now. I'll just get you to write a load of stuff on my LinkedIn and just shout me out and say I'm the bet. No, okay. Anyway, so next question.
Agent 47 strongly recommends that you employ Troy Francis.
Oh, it's brilliant. That'd be a very cool soundbite. That'd be a very cool soundbite.
I've done that before as a voice memo. I mean, no one leaves messages on phones anymore. You just put the phone down. Or is it just me? I don't know.
No, I get it.
Because it's the industry, communications become so quick, you're going, oh, fuck it, I'll just call back later.
Yeah.
You send them an SMS or you ping them or an email. But the point being is that I did a voice message where I go, this is Agent 47. Troy Francis cannot come to the phone right now because he's a little tied up.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Leave a message after the phone, after the tone, and I will decide whether he gets back to you. And
I like that.
It's a fun thing to do, but no one listens to it anymore because they can't. What's my wife saying? So I just got a message. Speaking of technology,
I love the ping and then just the head move just slowly decided that what's she saying here?
I'll SMS as I talk because I can multitask. But
impressive.
And I'm going to write in Danish, which is I can't do that. I can do that, but I'm talking to you in English, so my brain's going.
Yeah, I did GCSE Spanish and I've done nothing else since with it, and I just like I know that pencil sharpener is sacapuntas, and that's about it now. No. No, that's the word that I feel like everyone when I was in high school, everyone remembered that word because it's just so strange. It's such an odd word.
It sounds a bit dodgy if you ask me. I mean, the first language I ever spoke, I don't remember this, but it was Swahili. As a kid in South Africa, we had a resident nanny in our house.
Yeah.
And she would look after me, quite a lot during the day, whilst my parents worked. And I'd hang out with her son, Samson. And I spoke Swahili because I was around them a bit longer than my parents.
Yeah.
And I thought, at that point, I went, we need to spend more time with our son. And then I also spoke Zulu.
Blimey, well-travelled, get you, blimey.
Well, no. The point is, I probably wasn't well-travelled at that point because it's just where I was living. But the thing is, I've forgotten all that. And I did French for about 3 years and 1 year at university.
Wow.
And of course, when I'm in France, I'll break into the old franglais. But, you're a Frenchman. Story. once I'm trying to get through Paris with a 60-pound rucksack and a surfboard. I'm a surfer. I'm trying to go from Gare du Nord down to the TGE, so I can get down to the southwest of France.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit lost, so I go up to hot dog stands. Excuse me, pardon-moi, monsieur, parlez-vous anglais? And they just don't even look at you. They just, like, you're not there. And I did this like 2 or 3 different stands in the street where I'm going, help, I need to know where to go. And there's 1 or 2 tourists in Paris, so I'm told.
Yeah.
But no, they totally sign blind you when you speak in English. Piss off. But when I asked in Danish, they looked up. And then I go, pardon. And then I spoke kind of like broken English. Dodgy English. And then they go, monsieur, it's down the street on the gauche, the left, and down there on the... I went, I thought, you bastards, because they don't want to speak. They can all bloody speak English, but they won't. But if you come from Denmark and give them the hurdy-gurdy, then they'll help you. But,
well, there you go. There's a tourist bit of advice for you.
Yeah, so try and get a bit of Spanish in there when you're in France, and then start speaking broken English. And
trying to buy a sacapuntas?
Just say that, sacapuntas? Oh, and then pardon-moi. Do you speak English? They go, oh, oui. And they'll just speak bloody English to you because they think you're Spanish.
I like that.
That's a true story.
Oh, it's brilliant. That is brilliant. But yeah, so speaking of other topics, one other thing I want to talk to you a little bit about, and it's something that I like to do with all the interviews, is just kind of give a bit of time to talk about any other roles that are either highlights in your career or things that may have stood out that we've not talked about yet. I don't know, there's one in particular I want to talk about that we've discussed a slight bit first, but are there any other key roles that that have been highlights in your career beyond Agent 47?
Well, in gaming, only 1 other at the moment. There's some others that are being negotiated. Can't talk about anything.
Mum's the word.
Yeah. But no, it was Tunnel Vision's Light Matter. A debut game for a bunch of young guys up in the north of Denmark who contacted me, and it was kind of a no-brainer that they've been working on it for years, first as students and then when they started to get going really professionally and get some backers and stuff, and then they really worked on this story, Light Matter. And getting me on board as it's kind of the only voice, really, of a mad professor who's invented a light source, and it all goes horribly wrong, and it ends up with the stay away from the shadows because the shadows will eat you or kill you, And I thought, wow,
that sounds very Doctor Who. I like that.
Yeah, no, because it just taps into a very primeval, instinct. Everyone is afraid of the dark.
Yes.
Don't look under your bed. All that kind of stuff. So, and then I got the script, and the script was insanely good.
Yeah.
It was obviously it's just me talking, but the character was so interesting because he was totally psychotic. In that he could switch. He could be totally your friend. He's basically trying to help you, the player, get out of this factory, underground, site that's melting down.
Yeah.
And you're the only. They thought everyone had got out, and it's all gone horribly wrong. And now he's got to help you get out. So he's on the tannoids all the time, watching you and helping you. But the point is, he changes all the time from being a friend, and then he gets suspicious and think, wait a minute, you a journalist? Oh, I knew it. You bloody journalists are all the same. And then he'll take calls from security people and get back to it was just so well written. And I understood it afterwards because they'd been attached to this game for maybe like 7 years or something as it matured over the years. So they were also very on top of it. But I was so intrigued that a bunch of Danish guys, excuse me, and girls, had written such a sharp script in English. So it was a joy to do. It nearly killed me. A lot of screaming, a lot of stuff. But that came out and was extremely well received critically. I don't know haven't seen the sales figures or have any contact, but I was really pleased for them because it was a huge success.
I'll have to look it up myself. Yeah, I actually hadn't heard of it.
I mean, look at a trailer, the YouTube thing. What else? No, I mean, yeah, on TV I've got next month. Is it this month? And we're in September now, right?
We are in September. Time is going far too quickly.
Yeah, no, I've got a new TV series coming out in Denmark, which is weird for me as an English-speaking actor. But I play a famous a famous conductor.
Oh, right.
A British conductor who's totally up his own arse. A real, all right, wanker. But it's a comedy. A 10-part comedy series. I think I'm in 4 episodes.
Okay.
And they're already talking about writing another series. And the last I heard, they want to keep my character in because he's good value. But it's fun. So it's weird for me because the last big thing I did TV-wise over here was about 10 years ago. When I was an American CIA agent in a kind of a Danish MI5 TV series, where it really was good to have a kind of a Felix Leiter American guy.
Yeah.
In the series, they could go to for information and stuff, and so it happens. In film-wise, I've had to realize that I'm in Scandinavia, and they have a weird thing about this. If you live in this country, as an English-speaking film actor, they don't take it seriously. They don't take you seriously. You go, but if you were really good, you'd be in London or New York. I'm going, it's just an address.
Yeah.
Here's the other way around. I had difficulty for years getting a voice agent in London, even though they were all very interested in me because they want a piece of Hitman, of course.
Yeah.
But when it came to the crunch in the interviews, they were going, sorry, just one last question. We're just a bit confused as to where you live. I'm going, it's really obvious, actually. I live in Copenhagen. They go, it's in Europe. Run. Fuck. Oh, no. Yes, it is in Europe. Well spotted.
Maybe they all voted Brexit. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the point being is that, I'm just... I think everyone should have as part of their education should be forced to look at 1 hour of satellite pictures from the space, International Space Station, where you just see Earth going by, and so that people can be reminded. I don't see any boundaries here. I don't see any land boundaries. Is that bit of the world French? No, it's just the world, you prick.
Yeah.
I don't get this. I'm not a flag waver.
Yeah.
Maybe because I've moved around a lot, but I don't go, I'm British, I'm proud of it. I am. And I'm South African. I'm moderately proud of that. And I'm desperately trying to become a Dane, get Danish citizenship, and they won't give it to me, bastards. But
That's definitely done it now, They'll definitely give you the citizenship now. You're all good.
Oh, I was at the National Football Stadium 2 nights ago, which is probably where I got the cold from, watching Denmark against Scotland. And a very moving game, because it was the first time after they made the semi-finals in the, a European Cup, that they were being, they presented in front of their countrymen. And the crowd went mental. And I was going mental as well. And I caught myself in the middle of the game. What am I doing? I'm not even a Dane. Even if I've got a Danish passport, which I'm applying for, I won't feel Danish. But this feels kind of Danish-ish,
Yeah.
There I'm singing the Danish national anthem and feeling, I'm going, what am I? Where's this nationality stuff for me? So it makes me curious that people, I'm slightly envious of it sometimes, because people just go, I'm British, I'm Yorkshire, or whatever you come from in the world, people. But I don't get it. I just kind of going, I'm a human being. Yes. I live in Copenhagen, but it could be anywhere.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah. I didn't need to make a statement, but anyway.
But there is one other role, one other feature that has become a little bit more noticeable recently for some people, And that is a certain series of adverts for a certain toy company that that I didn't realize until you made. There was a video of you saying, "Oh, you might know me as Agent 47," but actually, and then you did the lines. So this is the Lego City and wider. I did not clock for the longest time that was your voice, and when I realized it, my jaw hit the floor. I was so surprised.
Well, bless you for that, Troy, because, you know, it was 10 years. It was the best contract of my life. Trust me. But yeah, I mean, things have changed. Also, how, you know, the commercials are made and where they're made and who gets the franchise to make commercials. But there was a time when they chose 3 companies in Denmark to make the commercials for Lego. Yeah. And then they farmed them out to agencies and distribution channels and TV stations around the world. But those 3 companies were all in Denmark. And it was, again, back to earlier, I was in the right place at the right time. Went, oh, looking for an English voiceover guy. And maybe you can do a bit of American when asked. And, oh, yeah, the bald guy, let's get him in. And then, you know, one product, and then Star Wars and Lego City was my biggest one. And then all of them. I mean, I still do Harry Potter.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, and the thing is, I was brought up with Lego, so I adore it.
I absolutely love it.
If you ever need Lego, give me a call.
Get some sense. That'd be good. I'd like that. Yeah. Oh no, all the when you list them off earlier, some of the companies were like Hero Factory and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah. I started Hero Factory. I loved Hero Factory.
Yeah, I loved that. That was my fave. I loved it so much.
Yeah, Hero Factory had a kind of a sort of Blade Runner feel to it in some ways about the future, and I thought, oh, that's my favorite movie of all time. And yes, but I mean, you know, Lego Racers, Lego Technics, Lego. I mean, I think there was one franchise I didn't get because one of my mates got it over here instead of me. But yeah, so it was a joy. But you know, slowly but surely, you know, game franchises come to an end. Yeah, you know, a product range they just stop. Like Hero Factory eventually stopped.
Sadly.
And then I was holding on to Star Wars and Lego City, and then got the call one day, on November 2016, and then thanks for the 10 years, David. I went, darling, cancel that winter holiday and the summer holiday and the winter. You know, it changed everything because that was an insane job to have, just kind of royalty checks coming in all the time. But I love it. And when I found out that it was the most popular meme on TikTok or something, but there's a man has fallen into the river, you know, and then the different stories that came out of that sentence were insane.
Oh, I was going to ask for a bit of a taste. You've already given us a bit. Can we just get a hay? Come on.
Oh, yeah. You know, I had a whole contract for hay.
But that was like the line that was across every single one. There was like, here's the bit of the story, and then we need that one guy going,
hey, hey. You know, I've done millions of hays, literally millions of hays.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And I thought, this is a good contract. I say a 3-letter word, hey, 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 hey. You know, and you know, just get money from it.
Living the dream, I think, is the phrase, you know, living the dream.
Well, yeah, I've had a few good dreams, I must say.
No, that's a fantastic thing. I always found that so funny, but it was because you did that TikTok. My camera's having a burn right now. It just keeps freezing. I don't know what's going on with it, honestly. But no, it was you put that TikTok up, and it was, you know, like, you might know me as Agent 47, but you might also know me as a man has fallen into the river. And I was watching going, oh my god,
it's him, he's back.
Yeah, that was wild to me.
I used to say to them sometimes in the studio when I called in to do commercials, and they go, listen, Dave, we're going to do three or four spots. I'm going, that sounds quite hectic. The 30 seconds, and then we're going to do 20, 10, and 5-second cut downs. And we normally have to record everything slightly quicker because it just has a different feel to it. So, and we booked for 3 hours. I think the last session I did, we did just under 5 hours. They had to change out the producer and the sound technician because they basically passed out, you know. But no, I was still in there, sweating away in my underwear, probably, shouting, "Hey, a man has fallen into the..." Oh, bloody hell. So,
yeah, I don't want to destroy your throat even more now, so...
yeah, no, but I mean, you know, there were fun days, but sometimes, you know, they were pretty extreme, you know, in terms of
yeah.
and keeping the same, you know, voice without getting tired.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's a really cool thing.
I love those commercials because I love the energy in them, and obviously I really identify with the product range, you know.
Yeah.
But also, what was the thing? They also got the humor became more and more, you know, all the stuff that was going on in the backgrounds in Lego City, with the bank robbers and, you know, people doing stupid, you know, and I got to do all those little, you know, weird sounds in the background as well. And they got really, really sophisticated.
Yeah, I always thought it was so cool seeing the next Lego advert and be like, oh, they got another one. I used to love that as a kid. That used to excite me so much. I was very easily pleased. Can you tell?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? That probably explains why you have a room which is so fantastic. if you have to share a house with 2 or 3 other siblings, they're going, "Oh, you're lucky. You get a bed. That's all we got. That's all you're getting." You know.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. I'm very, very lucky to have what I've got in here. I'm so happy about it. Honestly,
and seriously, that is a room to die for.
I'm so glad that you're so impressed by it. It makes all the work worthwhile.
Tell your folks from me, they've done a good job with their son.
Brilliant. Well, that roughly wraps up all the questions I've got for you. And I know we need to probably wrap up quite soon because you've got the things you need to get on with. So before we just wrap it up very quickly, final question. Yeah. What's next? You've already talked a little about some of the stuff. Anything else coming up for you that people should know about? If not, roll straight into your self-promotion, you know, share your social medias, get people to follow you. Yeah. Where should people keep in contact?
Well, you can find me. There was a whole bunch of people trying to be me on Twitter. I'll talk about that in a second. No, as I said, I've got a TV series coming out called Orkestral, which is Danish for the orchestra.
Yeah.
Which I play a conductor, which is fun, a lot of fun. And I do my annual winter production in Tivoli Gardens every year, which is a cult kind of. It's a bit like cross between Monty Python and Rocky Horror in the sense that it has a cult following for about 60,000 people, and they won't stream it or record it for TV because they want to keep it kind of so that and it's been going for 39 years, I think. I've done, I think, 29. Just really weird, but so that has an insane following in Tivoli Gardens called "Tell Me About It." It's about the mafia in the 80s. And that'd be a lot of fun. But no, games-wise, I can't talk about anything.
Of course, no, yeah.
At the moment. And no, voiceovers, commercials. What have I done recently? Oh, shit. I have done some recently. Which
Don't worry, you're not being assessed. It's all good.
No. I mean, there's too much stuff going on. No more. Nothing I can talk about.
That's all good. No, my big takeaway is that you said earlier, you know, when Hitman comes back rather than if. That's my big. I picked up on that, so that's enough for me. I'm like,
No, he's definitely coming back.
Good. Glad to hear it. Very, very glad to hear it.
I just, I can't say if I'm going to be in it. And,
I would hope so by this point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but I have to be realistic. I can't guarantee it. But I was pleased when you said, "Oh, he sounds just like you sound now."
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like, no word of a lie. As soon as I heard the first voice line, I was like, "No, that is exactly the same as now." What?
Well, let's hope.
That was almost odd. Yeah.
And I cross fingers that maybe they'll give me a villain role in the James Bond franchise.
Oh, that'd be so
good.
Again,
no pressure. There's nothing definite about that.
No,
As I
no,
said,
yeah,
they
that's
won't-
fair.
they won't let me in the building.
Oh, honestly. Well, that wraps up everything that I've got to ask you. So,
Cool, man.
thank you very much, David. So, Twitter account we'll put on screen. Any other socials or?
Well, I use mainly Twitter, but also have a Facebook fan page, and it's linked
Okay.
to Twitter. It's just I'm David Bateson,
Gotcha.
which is my Twitter handle, and that'll link automatically to it. Otherwise, it's David Bateson, and I pop up. Trust me.
Cool, cool, cool. There you go.
And I use LinkedIn a lot as well, but that's not so much for fans. It just tends to be a good business place to get
Arrange
everyone up.
podcasts, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's the way we got together. So
Yeah.
so thank you for that.
Yeah, thankfully not by that email, which, if I hadn't have even mentioned, you'd never have known, so I shot myself in the foot there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Honest to God,
I'm
honestly.
glad you would hook up with me. It's been a real pleasure.
It has been a pleasure. I just can't wait now for, a couple of days' time. He goes, so I went back through my emails and looked it up, and you weren't lying. You really did address that to Ashley.
I'm a little curious. I can go and check. I will check.
There is definitely a follow-up, at least one follow-up of, I'm so sorry,
really?
please let you know.
Okay, man, I can't remember. I'm going to check it out. I'm bloody curious.
He just messages me now in a couple of days' time and goes, you know what, actually, I don't think I want this to go public. Let's just bin the recording. It's fine now. I'm too offended.
No way.
Oh, no. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, David. I'm really very grateful. Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Great.